In just a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly how much you are worth. I mean, in real dollars. The reason this comes up, a couple reasons. Yesterday, I received my property tax bill, and it told me how much I owed in property tax based upon what my property was worth, based upon factors like how big was my house, what was it made out of, how much property do I own? All these factors went into it, and that triggered or prompted the thought, what are we worth? I mean, people. If you had to replace a person, how much would it cost? Well, you can't replace a person because you're one of a kind, you're kind of unique. So I went ahead and did what thinking people do. I Googled it. And here's what I came up with. This is something that was published on LinkedIn. And it says, according to the widely used, although somewhat hard to find credit for figures, a heart is worth around $1 million in the United States. So if you have a heart, you are worth $1 million. Now, let's stop for a second. The reason that we do these videos is, number one, we want to inform people about autism, but another primary reason is we want to be uplifting. We want to encourage people who are autistic because if anybody on the planet needs a boost, it's people with autism. But not just autism, anybody who needs just needs to be encouraged. Why not do it? So that's what we do on this channel. So our goal is when the video comes to an end, you should have two things. You should have more information than you had when you clicked on the video. And number two, you should feel a lot better than when you clicked on the video. So we're starting with number one, information. Did you know that your heart is worth $1 million? So you could say, based upon this information, assuming it's reliable, that you are a millionaire. Maybe you don't have $1 million in the bank, but you got $1 million heart inside of you. I'm assuming that's a healthy heart. All right, well, what else? Well, do you have a liver? I don't think you would be alive if you didn't, so let's say that you do. Your liver is worth $557,000 and your kidney is worth $262,000 each, so you get two of them. So let's just say, for the sake of rounding numbers, that's over $2 million between those three things. Human skin is $10 an inch. Have you ever measured your skin? Nah, I haven't either. Stomach is worth $500 in your eyeballs. If you need some extra cash, I guess you could sell your eyeball for $1,500. So when you put it all together, what does it come to? Well, I found this article. This is from NPR.org. This is a transcript from a podcast they do, and they say, what are people worth? And the answer is this. They say that life is worth about $10 million. And then they go on and they explain how they arrived to that number, which quite frankly, I don't think it's necessary to talk about all that. But the point is, how much are you worth? You are worth, if you're going to listen to NPR, you are worth about $10 million. Take all your body parts and sell them, you're worth about $10 million, and I don't know. They factor in also, what is your worth to the economy, the American economy? Because you work, you do things, you are an attribute to society. What's that got to do with autism? Well, as we said earlier, we seem to think that we aren't worth much because, well, why? I mean, who did this evaluation? People, they evaluate our property, they evaluate us in terms of real dollars. The government evaluates us as we're worth $10 million according to this. So why do we feel worthless? And, where did we get this? Well, I came up with three things I want to talk to you about. Number one is we have this thing that I would call a stamp of approval. Though we feel worthless because we don't have one. We need to be approved by other people. And it's not just people with autism. Everybody wants to be approved by others. Everybody, I think, likes to be liked. There could be some exceptions. I mean, I guess there's some psychopaths out there that just don't care at all. But most of us, we like to be liked, and to be liked, we need people to like us. We need that stamp of approval. Where do you get the stamp of approval? I mean, my property value came from the county. The $10 million thing about, our body parts or whatever, our value to the economy came from the government. So if you feel like you are worthless, apparently somebody either stamped you unapproved or they didn't stamp you at all. Who did that? Wasn't the county, wasn't the federal government. Who stamped you? Or who failed to stamp you? The point being is we sense, and I hope you're following me on this, we get this sense that we have no value because we want value to come from somebody else. We want somebody else to stamp us as approved. And I got to tell you, nobody's going to do that. I mean, nobody. I mean, you may have a loved one, a spouse, parents, kids, whatever. If you're fortunate enough, you may have some people in your life who are going to stamp you with approval, but when you go out and about outside your tribe, and sometimes even inside your tribe, you don't get approval, but go outside your tribe, and you find as a person who is autistic or just anybody, that in general, people just don't give you any sense of worth. So does that mean we're worthless, or does that mean these people are not qualified to, put a stamp on us? Now, I'm not into tattoos, but if I were, I think I just have a big tattoo stamped on my forehead that says approved. Yeah, there you go. But I'd have it reversed so when I look in the mirror, I could read it. Other people would ask, what does that mean? Why is it backwards? Yeah, I say, well, everyone else has it backwards, but when I look at myself, it's, I'm approved. So why not approve you? Why not? Okay, here's the problem. This is number 2. Is we get distracted from our true value. I mean, what we are really worth as a person. Are you following me on this? Because it's important. We get distracted because other people fail to see our value, and we are listening to them, and we are getting feedback from them, the neurotypical people who live in their neurotypical hive mind. We don't fit in the hive mind, therefore we're not approved. Why not? I mean, maybe we're not approved in the hive mind. That's okay with me. It causes some problems, but, I still have value. The fact that I don't understand quite how they click and how they think, and that's okay. I mean, I've got beehives around my property. Don't tell anybody, because if you do, the county will probably tax them. But I've got beehives around my property. And the bees don't want me there. If I get close to them, they sting me. They say, get lost. We don't want you. And they're willing to give their lives. And when a bee stings you, I've heard that they die. Talk about rejection. But do I care? No. I mean, if the wasp in the wasp nest don't want me, I don't care. But it's something about the neurotypical hive mind, that hive, somehow it's different. They sting us and we feel bad about it because, well, we're not bees, we're not wasps, we're people, and people should accept us. But the fact of the matter is, we're not that type of person. The bees live in the beehive, and the wasps live in the wasp nest, and they don't trade places. It's where they belong, it's where they fit, it's where they function. I don't function in the neurotypical hive mind. So why would I want to go there? I don't want to go there any more than I want to go to a beehive or a wasp nest. And I don't like to get stung, and all 3 of them. I have learned to stay away from them because I don't want to get stung, but what does that have to do with my value? Am I more valuable than a bee? Yeah, I think so. Am I more valuable than a wasp? I think so. Am I more valuable than the people who live in the neurotypical hive mind? Yeah, probably not. but at least of equal value. But the fact they reject me and say, you have no value here, doesn't mean I have no value. It just means I don't have any value there. In their hive, in their nest, in their hive. I don't belong there, so I have no value there. So that doesn't mean I have no value. It simply means my sense of value is distracted because I'm focused on their standard of value. It's really that simple. And there's something about us, something about human nature, that the grass is always greener, on the other side of the fence. So here we are living, most of us, in the middle of the United States of America in the 21st century. Never in human history have people had it so good. Never. And they're still complaining. We have injustice and we have this problem and we have this flaw. And we do, but they just over-exaggerate them, like we need to just overhaul the whole system and start from scratch. I mean, there are people who actually think that. And, having been raised in the 50s, 60s, and living over this era, this period of human history, I got to tell you, I'm the most fortunate person on earth. Well, me and the other people who are alive now, the 8 billion of them. So why are we complaining? Why are we griping about? We don't appreciate what we have. We are focused on what we don't have. Maybe we're focused on some injustice that our great-great-great-great-grandparents suffered in the past. Or maybe we're focused on some other problem that we're having because we don't have it as good as somebody else. And by the way, you will never have it as good as everyone else. Take the person on planet Earth who has it better than everyone else, but that person has flaws. I mean, it's just impossible. So we are distracted by that intense desire to be accepted. And instead, we should be focused on who we are, and the fact of the matter is you are unique. Each one of us. We've talked about that in other videos, but there has never ever been a person, stop what you're doing. I know you're starting to get distracted because I have mental telepathy or something. But I want you to stop and focus on this. There has never, ever been a person like you. Never. And there never will be again. You're it. You're one of a kind. And the chances of you being here, as we talked about in another video, are mathematically impossible times mathematically impossible. You can't be here, but here you are. You're special. And you're never going to be here again. You've got up to 120 years. They say 70 is the lifespan, and I've already passed that, so I'm looking forward to 100, whatever. But once that's over, it's over, How special can you be? Well, I don't see it that way. How do you see it then? Well, we see it the way other people show it to us. You see your worth the way that other people show you your worth. And they're wrong. And so we're believing these people who, they just put each other down because that's how they do it in the hive mind. They're in this hierarchy that we talk about a lot. And they're all moving upward toward that alpha position as close as they can possibly get. They want to have the best car, the best house. They want to be the most popular, particular teenagers, in that age. They want to be the biggest, baddest. They want to be able to beat up everybody else. They want to be respected more so than anyone else. I'm sorry, I'm not into that. I'm not going there. If that is where you get your worth, you're going to be worthless. Or you're going to feel worthless. You're not going to be worthless. So first of all, we don't need a stamp of approval. Number two, we get distracted from what our real purpose in life is. And then thirdly, when we do that, we're going to have the wrong goals, because our goal is to keep up with other people. It's to climb the hierarchy, move upwards toward the alpha position. And that's one of the fortunate parts of being autistic, is we tend not to have that urge and desire as much as others. I think we still have it because we're human, it's still there, but we're not part of it, so we learn to live without it, and then having learned to live without it, we learn that we can live without it. It's not that big of a deal. We do fine on our own, but again, comparing ourselves to others, we may not have the jobs or the work or the employment or the income they have. And that's tragic. That is injustice. That is very wrong, but still, we're going to focus on that instead of our true value. Then we're going to be disappointed. We're going to have the wrong goals. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on being accepted. And we do stupid things like buy expensive cars, people will accept us. Unaware that the moment you drive a new car off a new car lot, it's now a used car. I bought a new car, but I got in it, started it up, and now it's used. Everybody drives a used car. And I love old cars. I like to look at photographs of those that have been restored. Those that are, they try to upgrade them. I don't like to have a car that's like original, And they're just amazing, but they don't stay that way. They rust, they wear out. I spent Sunday fixing up things around my house, things fall apart. So why am I wasting my time trying to keep up with other people with the stuff that I own? It's all going to fall apart anyhow. There are things in life that should be more important to us than just this pressure, this constant pressure that we feel of keeping up with other people. And if we base our worth and our value on that, then that's going to be our goal. We're going to waste our entire life trying to keep up with other people. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with having nice things. I got to make that clear. There's nothing wrong with having a nice house. You just don't have to have the nicest house. Looking at our property tax, we're about as middle class as you can get. We're in the middle of the middle. So there are a lot of people who have homes nicer than ours, but there's an equal amount that have homes that are not as valued as ours. Can we be okay with that? There's a lot of people who are smarter than you are, but there's a lot of people who are dumber than you are. Okay, maybe you're the dumbest person on the planet, and I just don't happen to know it, but I doubt it. There are people who are more attractive than you. There are a lot of people that are uglier than you. That's just reality. Why is it that everybody wants to strive to be better, but, we don't want to go lower, right? What is that? What is that urge that makes us want to be approved in the eyes of others? Why can't we just be approved in the eyes of ourselves? Why can't we just simply take that stamp of approval and just give it to me? You're okay. Yeah, maybe you're not as rich, maybe you're not as attractive, maybe you don't have the talents, maybe you can't dribble a basketball, maybe you can't hold a job the way other people can, but you're being distracted from your true value because you think if you don't have it, then you don't have value. There's a green dot, lower right-hand corner of your screen. There is a rectangle on the left-hand corner of your screen. The red dot you click on to join our YouTube family, and click the bell so you get notifications. The rectangle, click on that. You can keep on watching the videos. We've made lots of them in the past, and you can just watch forever if you want. See you all next time.